and ball will collide. Hear them shout, spirit tight. Bring your fight, bring your friends. Come out hard to defend. From the ashes to the stadium. VPL, T10. From the ashes to the stadium. VPL, T10. Hey. T10. VPL, T10.
And we're back here at the Arnersville playing field in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for match number 17 of the Dream 11 VPL 3.0 from the Ashes. And we can see the umpire Davis giving a signal to begin the match. Everybody's being told to be ready. And he is being partnered by umpire Dighton Butler. The two opening batsmen for the Explorers are, as usual, Darren Graves and Romano Pear. And Javid Harry will be opening the bowling for the Lasso Free Hikers. Again, another good morning to all our viewers and good morning again to you, Kish.
Yeah, interesting encounter ahead of us here. I believe a thrilling one. You see umpire Roger Davis is about to call play. And Javid Harry is in. I'm not sure if maybe... yesterday they started with Javid as well. I'm not sure if I would have started with Javid against the two left-handers. It probably might work, but maybe I would have preferred to have the ball going across these left-handers. However, the field is set, onside field, so you see long on, and that fell out deep mid-wicket, a little straighter than normal. And I believe Desmond would be confident in that strategy because of the fact that the wind will be blowing across the ground. So even if they try to attack Javid on that end, then it could potentially hold up in the wind.
Yes, and they are on the pitch to our extreme left, which is furthest away, which means the leg side boundary is a little bit bigger than it was yesterday, to some extent. Harry to Graves. This one is in the gap, speeding away, and that's the far side of the ground, and that goes away for 4. Slight misfield there by Straw. 4 runs to begin.
Well, I think it was in the gap. It was I don't know if it was intended to go there, Alonso, but I think a better effort probably could have been committed there from Otney Lewis, a tall guy. So I just guess he didn't want to get the dive out too early in the game. But good start nonetheless from Darren Graves.
So Graves is away with a boundary. As you mentioned, it was slightly edgy. It was looking maybe forward or square on the offside, but he'll take them as they come. Slight change in personnel. As you mentioned, Otney looked a little bit stiff in chasing that one. Atticus has exchanged with him from short fine leg to short third man. So this is shortish and straight to him, so he gets to turn this one on the leg side to follow up his boundary with a single. Intelligent start there by Graves.
Yeah, their run is I guess due for some runs, and what better game to come to form than this one against in the top of the table clash. So he's now going to want to bat some overs and get a big score for his team. Romano will just be looking to continue his form.
This one is a straighter ball by Javid. Badly lined, and it will go away for 4, most likely 4 leg byes. It seemed to brush the pad. Yes, that is confirmed by umpire Davis.
Yeah, the pressure is on Javid here, I believe, right? Left-handers. As a left-hander myself, Alonso, I would have been extremely happy to see Javid starting because he's not going to turn the ball much. If he bowled anything outside off, he'll be punished.
This one is similar delivery to the second delivery of the over, but this time it's turned straight to the man on short fine leg. It's a dot delivery. It's a wide, but it was short and down the leg side, and Roman, with the two fielders up in the circle and behind square on the leg side, Roman would feel he missed out there.
Definitely, and I think this should be easy pickings for the batsman.
This time he drives neatly, but straight to the man at mid-off, and they cannot take a run.
Yeah, that's a better line there, I believe, from Javid. Let's see if he can maintain that line, say mid-run off.
This time he cuts in the gap, and that's 4 runs. That one was well placed. OJ Matthews is quite fleet of foot, but he wasn't able to cut that one off.
That was a beautiful shot there from Romano Pair. Again, displaying his form. But again, any room outside off stump, just slight room, you have that, because Javid is not known to turn the ball. So the ball would just keep line and angle across the left-handers. And so they will be confident that they can place, just have to find the gap on the offside. For anything, just marginal outside of the off stump.
So after the first over, it's 14 without loss. 5 off 2 is Graves and Pairs 4 off 4. And Lewis will be brought into the attack as usual. They usually open with him from the backway end. A lot will depend on how he goes in this game for the Lassufre Hikers. As you mentioned before, he's their key bowler.
Yeah, this right here is the test because of the 2 left-handers now, and they have Shaman Hooper to come. So if Lewis could pick up 1 or maybe 2 of these left-handers, then I think that would pick back the Explorers and put them on the back foot early in the game. So this over is critical.
Big shot attempted there by Graves. He was aiming slightly leg side, and then he rehearses the shot that he really should have played with a straighter back.
There wasn't any turn on that one, Alonso.
And I was just about to say that he has to look out for that one that Lewis has been getting to just come back in off the pitch to the left-hander.
Yeah, and of course the ball is new, so you expect some drift back in, and with the wind coming across as well.
Shorter length, punch to short, extra cover. No run. Good length here by Lewis.
Very good start from Otney Lewis.
And Graves will feel he missed out there. That one was on a similar length, but this time on his pads. He's very strong on the leg side, but he missed that one. He was aiming that one powerfully through the offside. Again, a very good line and a good length being bowled here by Lewis.
5-dot balls. Deron is going to feel that he needs to get a bungie off this final delivery. Let's see how he goes.
A very good over. Maiden bowl there by Otney Lewis. Excellent bowling. And Deron Graves, although he had 5-dot balls, he wasn't tempted into something injudicious after the last one.
Yes, and I'll answer that proves my point. In the first over that went for 14, where as I said, I would not have started with Javid, Harry, and I probably would have even tried OJ Matthews, the other right-hand off spinner, right? And as I just said that OJ is brought into the attack. So maybe, a delayed entrance for OJ. But let's see. I mean, opportunity still to bowl in the power play against these two batsmen who we know what they're capable of.
Yes. So your analysis is spot on. He would prefer to have the bowlers turning away the ball from the left-handers, especially early in their innings. So Matthews introduced. Slight change of personnel. The feel is more or less the same, but Maloney has taken himself to backward point. An area of strength for Pair. This time he goes, attempts to go over long off. It wasn't full enough for the shot, quite short in the end, and he was only successful in hitting that one up. It was caught nicely by the man at mid-off. I think that was Kamalo Kane.
Walked Alonso, walk like a charm there for Captain Desron. I think 1 over late, but good start nonetheless. 14 for 1. They're going to take this as I think key would be bringing in Shaman Orley, maybe getting one of these other left-handers and then getting the two right-handers, Dean Brown and Lyndon Brown, to the wicket as early as possible, so that they can have a slow start, knowing that they don't really have a lot behind them.
Absolutely true. And just a correction, that catch was taken by Dylan Douglas, not Kane. Kane is now on the long on boundary. So the batsman crossed while the ball was in the air. Graves will be on strike. Hooper is the new batsman. Had a very nice innings in the last game of for the Dark Explorers of 63. 63 not out, I must add. Punch firmly, back of a length, punch firmly by Graves down to the man at mid-off, Douglas. So good start so far by Matthews. Wide call by umpire Davis. Short and wide, looking for the cut. What do you say about this length being bowled by Matthews?
Matthews is showing really good control here. You know, maybe can bowl a little shorter still. Not shorter, straighter. He doesn't want to go too wide outside off stump, because Chang is going to punch him through the offside. So you want to be a little straighter.
This one, he gets the room that he desired and gets it over the man at extra cover. As you mentioned, the width allowed him to punch it for 4.
Exactly. You have to be a bit straighter to Darren Graves. And with that length he's bowling, if he bowls straighter, then it will be a great risk for him to pull the ball in the wind. So what he needs to do is just keep it a bit straighter and let Graves take the risk.
This time it's punch down to the man at long on. Kane does the feeling, so he gets a single. A little bit disappointed as he kicks the ground. 20 for 1 with 1 delivery remaining in the 3rd over. So good start so far by the Lasufre Hikers.
Well, it's not a bad start also for the Explorers. I think one game after 2 overs there was something like 8 runs, and they were able to capitalize and push on later on. So they will know that they have that potential.
Oh my, and the Shaman Hooper has just continued from where he left off in the last game. Short and wide, and he loves the cut shot, well executed.
Shaman is really right up there in the tournament. I think one of the players who was competing for player of the tournament, MVP. But Shaman has starred in a couple partnerships thus far. I think yesterday, the last time he played in the 80-something runs partnership with Jade Matthews. Jade got only about 12 runs, right? So Shaman has been in a partnership of second wicket highest partnership of 67 with Romano Pair. He has also been involved in the highest 4th wicket partnership with Jade Matthews, 83.
And that 83, along with the partnership yesterday between Abraham and Hooper, that is the joint highest partnership for the tournament so far. Lewis to Graves, drives, and he could be caught, yes. He's out caught by Harry. At short third man, he was looking for the drive. Got the outside edge. Good delivery by Lewis. And another blow inflicted here by the Hikers.
The plan is working. So get 2 of these left-handers back in the dugout. And Neil's, I think he's now joined the party. We know what he is capable of. A really talented off spinner. Tall as well, so he extracts good bounce from the pitch. And he has shown consistency over the years in terms of his line and length. And he's getting results here this morning. Alonso, a good wicket for him.
Absolutely vital wicket. Graves, as you mentioned before, hasn't been amongst the runs in the tournament, and he'd have been looking at this matchup and in this game today as a good one to come up trumps for his team. And so the Hikers would be glad to have seen the back of him. Brings Captain Lyndon James to the crease. Lewis is bowling extremely well after his wicket maiden. The next delivery he has bowled after his maiden in the 1st over. His first delivery of his 2nd over has resulted in a very important wicket for his team.
It will be interesting to see how Lyndon goes about this. Having won the toss, he knows he has to go to put a good target on the board.
Good line, good length. That one leaving slightly off the pitch. So it's something that he has bowled quite often in the tournament. That little delivery that, just moves away from the right-hander.
Yeah, I think there's some pressure right now on Captain Linden and the Explorers because they're going to know that need close to 100 runs.
Again, that delivery that slightly leaves the right-hander. So good bowling again by Lewis. 3-dot balls so far to back up his maiden in the first over.
And despite losing the last game, right, they have such an experienced camp with Irvin Warwick as the coach that they're going to be able to turn around things quickly.
Again, very good line, very good length. He knows that James wouldn't want to take a risk so early in his innings with his team already having lost 2 wickets in the 4th over. So he's not trying anything out of the ordinary, just a good line and a good length. Kudos to him thus far, Lewis. Not a dot delivery. So if he gets a dot delivery here, he'll be the first person to go through his 2 overs in the history of the VPL and not having conceded a run.
I think not very good batting from Linden. He must be able to turn one of those right in the vacant mid-wicket area there. So he should have gotten at least 2 singles so far.
And it's a maiden, so it's 2 maidens by Lewis. And that's the end of the power play, 24 for 2. Kishore.
That's excellent bowling. Extraordinary bowling by Artney Lewis. 2 maidens from his spell. First ever in VPL. A record that I don't see being broken anytime soon, Alonso. But great start for the Lassafray Hikers after that defeat yesterday. I'm sure Coach Warrican would have told his players to just remain confident and go back to the basic, execute right, and they'll be alright. So it's good to see that they have really rallied back and into the games all this morning on top of Explorers.
So Graves and Pear, the batsman, dismissed for 10 and 4 respectively. Hooper is on 4 off his solitary delivery. James yet to score 5 deliveries and bowling for as we have the first delivery here by Matthews. Cuts, no runs as we get back to the summary of the power play. Bowling for the Hikers. I think we could already safely say cut again, but doesn't find the gap. Now we could safely say that Lewis has 1 for none off his 2 overs for sure. And that's an excellent spell, Kishore.
Excellent indeed. Apart from the 1 bad over from Javed Harry, the Hikers have bowled really well thus far. And I'm sure that the Explorers would feel that they need to increase the strike rate significantly in order to get the Explorers to get to maybe about 80-90.
Again, good feeling. So it's good field placement here. They realize the strength of Hooper and they have the 3 or so players just behind screen on the offside and the sweeper cover.
I think OJ got away with that one because if he had left that, it would have been called wide for sure. But Hooper would have probably backed himself to get a bit more bat on that.
So very good bowling by Matthew so far. He has 1 for 10 off his 10 deliveries.
What they have done is change their tactics slightly by bringing in OJ into the attack much earlier than previous games where we saw OJ bowl in the final over in some cases. So this is some good adjustment by Captain Maloney. He started with Javed and changed that plan immediately when he saw that it wasn't working.
That is very commendable in a 10 overs fixture, as we see that one just cut off the bottom edge down to the man at short, third man Javed Harry, single to Hooper. It's commendable in a short fixture when you're able to make your decisions very quickly.
But it's necessary, and sometimes these are what win you games. These sort of quick thinking on your feet, adjustment, being able to be flexible and not just stick to the plan that you went on the field with.
This time, Captain James goes over the widest mid-wicket area for 6. That one was flighted and he slog swept that one nicely over the leg side. 6 runs.
Outstanding shot by Captain Linden, and he is capable of that. And he would be familiar with O.J. Matthews as well, who played for the Explorers previously. So I'm sure that it's a good end to that over, and he would have been happy to get off the mat after batting those 5 deliveries, that balls in the previous over from Martin. You know, you probably feel a bit more confident with this. So really, really lovely shot. As we see Dylan Douglas into the attack, went for 21 off his 1 over yesterday. Not really, you know, what he has done so far in this tournament is a lot more consistency, restrict the batsman much better than that. So he would think that was just 1 bad over and want to return to what he is known for doing, bowling tight.
Yeah, so he owes the team a bowling performance in this one after the last game. So let's see how he goes. The power play ended not this last over, but the one before, and so the field has been spread. There is a man at deep square leg, a deep mid wicket, a long on, a long off, and a man on the sweeper cover boundary. The 4 fielders inside the circle, and a man short fine leg, short third man, a man at backward point, and a short extra cover. This one is cut to backward point, but not with much power, and they are able to get a single.
Yeah, the running between the wickets needs to improve. A bit of a stutter there from both batsmen in the middle, so they have to be careful with that. But I think from here, with halfway through the innings, both teams going to know how critical these next 2 overs are. Explorers, obviously, they have no choice more than try to step up the gear and try to get this run rate up to 10 runs over from here.
Good delivery there by Douglas. They're looking for 2. Fielders quickly off the boundary on the leg side. Kane and Matthews, they are very, very quick, the both of them, very young men, able to restrict it to 1.
10 runs over from here, Alan, to get them up to about 80, 83, thereabout. I think they'll want a little bit more than that, at least 95, thereabout. So they're going to have to attack.
And that one is on the attack. That's 6 runs. Very straight, good shot, placed well. Just a little bit of flight there and a bit of width, allowing Hooper to free his arms as we have a look at the replay.
Hooper hit some shots, you know. He has a wide range, and it will take some really discipline and a really good bowling to pin him down at this point. So let's see how he goes. Let's see how Dylan bounces back.
Cut away beautifully, but the man on the sweeper cover boundary, Kane, will only be 1, but a lovely shot nevertheless.
Lovely shot indeed. Only 1, and that's a big boundary out there. Big boundary plus the wind is blowing against the ball there, so he's going to have to time it and place it really well in order to get a boundary on that side of the ground. I think Linden will be aiming to go straighter.
This one is full, wide. Straw will have some work to do. He does it well, but the batsman in the meantime have time for 2, as that was driven by James.
Really good run in between the wicket there as well. From the time Linden struck that ball, he set off, and I think they were both committed to getting 2 runs there.
Follows up with a dot delivery. So far, at the end of the over, he's gone for 11 runs. It's an improvement from what happened yesterday, but quite an expensive over in the context of what we have had so far, as the Explorers are now 42 for 2 after 6.
But with Otney Lewis completing his 2 overs, and OJ, who we have seen bowling at the end of the innings, it'll be interesting to see who Captain Maloney uses in the bowlers he's going to use. So Javid, as we see, coming back after 14 runs, I believe this this over has to go for at least 15, Alonso.
Yes, they have to attack Javid, and they also need to attack all of the 4 overs that are remaining. They need to get, as you mentioned before, in the vicinity of 90 plus. They would have wanted over 100, but an adjustment to that could be made based on where they are currently. But Hooper will have other ideas. He's in good form, confident, chap, shots all around the wicket. Let's see how he goes. Good delivery first up there by Javid, very full, just around the crease mark.
Good start by Javid. I think he pushed that one a little quicker than normal.
That one he also pushes, but it is struck nicely over long off again by Hooper. Such a pleasing batsman to the eye.
Really good batter. That's an outstanding shot, a confident shot. Back himself to clear Dylan Douglas at long off. And again, it's both batsmen would realize that they need to get some runs off this over.
This time he pulls. It's in the gap behind square on the offside. Well placed. 4 runs. Good placement there, even though he was hitting into it when he made sure he was in the gap.
Yeah, I think the beauty about that shot especially is the placement. Seeing the batsman out, the fielder out there and the deep square like Bongi knew that he had to bring it a little finer. And he really took his time, almost waited and just turned it in the gap.
This time it's a single. Let's see what the call is from the umpire. No signal. It's 50.
Javid Harris over with 2 balls to go. They're going to want at least 1 more boundary off this over. I think Javid will be trying to push it fast across Lyndon.
Looks for the drive off the inner half of the bat. Feeler comes off the deep square leg boundary, gets the return in, keeps them to 1. So 54 for 2, 1 delivery remaining in the 7th.
12 runs off the over thus far, Alonso. 1 ball to go. 6.
Well, that is what Hooper will be looking for, a boundary. And so said, so done. Lovely flight on that delivery. It was like a golf shot.
Sharman Hooper. Outstanding shot. Knew that he had to get a boundary off this final delivery. And, great confidence. Went and cleared the long on boundary. Really good batting by Sharman Hooper. And they would feel that they're back in it. 60 runs now from 3 overs to go. 10 runs would definitely take them up to 90. They might still have an eye on 100, Alonso.
Yes, if these two bat close to the end, and also to come, we have to remember that it's the player in the tournament with the high strike rate, and also the man with the high strike rate of the previous edition. So if these two and Dean Brown are there for the remainder of the 3 overs, then they should really get at least 100.
They should. I think that they will back themselves to get another 40 runs off these final overs.
So Douglas to James. This time it's on the bottom edge as he attempts a pull. Single to James, gets Hooper back on strike. And we were saying on Friday when Hooper was batting that once he bats long, you will have a lot of shots to remember from his innings. Very clean, classy batsman all around the wicket. Conventional cricket strokes, and it shows that you can score quickly by playing good conventional shots. So very wide delivery there by Douglas. It seems as if it will get to the boundary. Has it?
Yeah, and that's pressure right there. That's pressure on Dylan Douglas. 4 wides. That's bonus. So Sharman Hooper on 30 from 14 balls, going out to over 200 run strike rate now. Lyndon struggling 10 from 10.
This one will only go over the boundary yet again. And Douglas is under pressure, getting some of his own treatment. And he's under pressure here by Hooper. Another 6. Lovely shot over mid-wicket.
Another outstanding shot. Shaman hits the ball exactly where he wants to hit it. Right? He waits on it. You know, he doesn't premeditate, just plays the ball on the merit.
This time he cuts over backward point. This one should run away for 4. A lovely shot there again by Hooper. It's an excellent shot. Very good placement.
Shaman is looking like MVP of the tournament so far. You know, and if he keeps this up, I'm sure that, you know, he'll be right up there with whether it's Dylan Douglas or Desmond Maloney, Sunil Lambert and these guys. Really fantastic batting by Shaman.
Splendid. Splendid. He takes 6 more of this delivery. Full toss, deserved the treatment, and aptly treated there by Hooper.
Well, this over is already bigger than the one that Dylan bowled yesterday for 21 runs. Bad bowling, but take nothing away from Shaman. Shaman is batting really smart, as I said, playing the ball on its merit. Every ball thus far in this over, I think 20 runs, 22 runs.
First one went for 11. And this will be another wide, trying to keep it away from the hitting arc of Hooper. Hooper having none of it, just leaving it to go wide outside the off stump.
Well, 100 is certainly on the cards now. 100 would be minimum the Explorers will be looking for.
Another wide. So serious pressure on Dillon here in this over. He has already gone, as mentioned before. This time it's 24 runs that he has conceded so far of this over. This one it's an attempted cut, comes off the bottom edge. They get a single, brings James on strike. Hooper is on 47 of 18 deliveries, striking at well over 250.
Captain Maloney will be wondering who he's going to turn to now.
This one is hit down to long on by Captain James. He retained the strike for the next over. It's 86 for 2, so if they do not get 100 from here, they'll be extremely disappointed and they may actually be thinking maybe in the vicinity of 110, 115.
I think 115 certainly. In fact, they probably would be thinking 120 still. Because if they will be thinking at least 15 runs or over from here, more than likely we're going to see Benetton, Stapleton, who I think is into the attack now, and then I believe Cameron Shaw might be finishing. So they will back themselves to dispatch these 2 bowlers for a few boundaries in these next 2 overs.
And they have bowled 8 overs consecutively of spin. Maybe there was a case for, including one of the pacers just a little bit earlier to change things up, because although the batsmen were discomforted in the early bouts, especially by Lewis, the constant diet of the slow bowlers, after a while they became quite settled and accustomed to the diet.
Well, the fact that Benetton is only coming into the attack with 9 wickets, it shows that the captain doesn't think that he can keep the strike rate down.
And he's bowled first delivery by Benetton, and he continues his wicket taking form as James was looking to go across the line there with that one, hitting the top off, good delivery, important wicket.
Important that ball, but I'm not sure if this is good for hikers or bad, because Lyndon was not getting away with the ball, and you now bring in to strike Dean Brown, who we know what he's capable of. At this point of the game, I prefer to have Dean at the wicket than Lyndon James, So Lyndon has played his role in an important partnership, rebuilding partnership with Shaman, but I think now is the time for Dean Brown to step to the crease, and I think Explorers would benefit from his entrance.
Yes, and we're just really reminded that Benetton Stapleton took 2 wickets off his last 2 deliveries that he bowled in the previous game, and he took a wicket just a delivery ago, so it's a hat-trick, but a hat-trick across 2 different matches.
Hat-trick. It's probably not the first. I think he did that in the previous game when he took the 4 wickets. He took them all on a chart, consecutive balls, right? So, certainly a wicket taker, but he, at this point, the economy rate is what really matters, you know. So keeping that target under 120 is what Captain Maloney would be thinking of.
And they'd want to see the back of the most destructive batsman in the tournament thus far, strike rate wise. And he's punched that one down to long on. So he averts the consecutive wicket taking prowess of Stapleton.
Good start by Benetton. Very good start by Benetton Stapleton here. 2 good balls, 1 run, 1 wicket off the 2 deliveries. So he will be happy with that start. He will be hoping to finish the over, you know, in a similar fashion. Shaman Hooper obviously would have different intentions, and I'm sure he'll be looking to clear the boundary, get to his 50 and get his team to close to 120.
So the projected score, if they go at 12 runs and over, is 110. At 11 runs is 108, and 106 if they go at 10 runs and over. They'll be trying to get in the vicinity of the latter, of the former, sorry. We were about to say dot delivery there by Benetton, but it eludes keeper Anson Latchman. Uncharacteristic mistake by him. He's usually quite efficient behind the wicket, as it pitched short of him.
Yeah, but Sudney should have stopped that answer. One of our good young national keepers. Very good player, former St. Vincent and Grenadines under 19 captain as well. Took a break to go and pursue his studies. Completed his bachelor's at the University of West Indies, Caville, and back to playing cricket now. So, you know, we're hoping he can do better than that.
Again, a dot ball again by Benetton. And he's weaving a web of magic here at the Arnoldville playing field. 4 deliveries he has bowled, he has taken a wicket, he has gone for a solitary run. And the Lassufre Hikers couldn't have asked for better from him. Oh my! Did that one carry back to him? Could he have had yet another wicket in this over? Or was it on the bounce?
It'll be interesting to see the replay there. But that ball nonetheless.
So it was flat batted. We are a little bit obscured by Stapleton as to whether it carried to him from that footage. But it's 8.5 overs. This one is struck, but could it be caught? No, it drops just short of low. So seemed to take a while to pick it up. And it's 92 for 3 after 9 overs.
That was a big over from Benetton Stapleton. Excellent. The skipper probably now thinking maybe I could have squeezed it. An extra 1 from Benetton. And, you know, maybe an error, because the fact that Benetton has shown his wicket-taking ability, having 9 wickets, coming into this match, top of the table with the wickets. So maybe a trick missed by Captain Desmond Maloney. So now we have to turn to the next medium pacer in Cameron, and would be hoping that he does something similar.
Yes, and it's something that we alluded to earlier. They bowled 8 consecutive overs of spin, and they really could have used the opportunity to get somebody like Benetton in one of those overs just to give him an over in between there and let him come back for 1 at the death.
Yeah, and as we look to go into the second innings, it is a similar concern I have with the Explorers attack, where they have 4 off spinners bowling into the right-handers. The right-handers, Sullivan, Dillon, and Maloney later on. So that too would prove to be quite interesting.
Yes, so Seal, Ron Williams, the leg spinner, he will be very important to their cause in defending this run. They started. False start there by Cameron. He's bowling to Hooper.
Feeling the pressure, or just trying to see what Shaman is going to do?
You know, it could be one or the other, or a bit of both. Very strong breeze here at the Arnoldville playing field today. This one is wide and so called by umpire Butler. It's now 93 for 3.
So with third man back, I suspect that the plan is to pitch slightly wide of off stump. And, you know, just aim for that maybe 6 stump, right? And get, you know, Shaman stretching a bit.
He could also play into his hands. He's strong in that region. Alright, so he's beaten there, as you correctly alluded to. That seems to be the plan.
Well executed there by Cameron. Well executed. If he can maintain this, then he'll keep the Explorers maybe just about 100. I can't see them getting less than 100. This would have to be an excellent over for that to happen.
This one has gone. It has departed. It has left the building. It has left us. And Shaman Hooper, he raises bat for a fabulous 50.
A few vehicles are parked behind there, Alonso.
Well, mine isn't parked there for sure.
Yeah, I think yesterday I parked my vehicle just there. So, you know, thanks for probably being in the box this morning. I parked it behind the commentary booth. So, yeah, but really great shot there by Shaman. No doubt the wind is blowing in that direction, so it would have helped the ball a bit. But beautiful shot, well executed by Shaman. And no doubt he'll be looking to hit at least 2 more of these deliveries out the park.
And based on the plan that was set, Struck erred a little bit there in terms of his line. He was a little bit too straight, and it enabled Hooper just to pull that one over square leg very easily. Straw is not by any means a quick bowler, medium pace, and so for a batsman of Hooper's class, it was a very easy shot to play. And we have a little delay here. Some would say we're just having the ball being inspected and given back to the bowler.
So 99 with 4 deliveries to go.
And this one is it's one of the most fruitful shots at the death in any limited overs game. The edge,
healthy edge we call it. And what we missed there with that big 6 and the previous delivery was Shaman Hooper's 50. And you mentioned you're about to be 50, and that is that his second 50 or
his second consecutive 50.
Beautiful batting. A contender certainly for MVP of the tournament.
So his 50 came off 24 deliveries with 3 4s and 6 6s. He'll be looking for more as Struck comes to him. Good ball, good delivery there by Struck. Good length, good line, well executed. That's more along where he wants to be.
Yes, really, really good execution. And I think Shaman probably tried to get another edge. You see what? When you attempt to play the edge, you don't get the edge, right? You better off trying to hit that down the ground, and maybe he might get an edge.
So 2 deliveries to go in this innings. Good Yorker ball there by Straw. They are looking for 2, and they will not get it. And it keeps them to 1.
Dean, who seems to have been there for ages now, he has only batted 1 ball. So he has the opportunity to close off the innings with a 6.
And just a note that this will be consecutive unbeaten 50s by Hooper unless he's run out of this last delivery.
I think he has 59 from 27 balls. Really, really good knock. Was under a bit of pressure earlier because of the situation, losing a couple of the 2 left-handers, Romano Pair and Deron Graves, who went fairly cheaply at the top. So had to do some damage, some rebuilding. Final ball.
It's full, and Dean would think that he has missed out. Hooper was looking for the second, but sent back by Dean. So Hooper not out on 59. Dean 2 off 2 deliveries. The Dive Explorers end up at 105 for 3 after their 10 overs. Another magnificent innings by Hooper.
Really good batting by Shaman Hooper. 105 at one point, not looking possible. They were looking as though 80, 85. So some good work in the end, a good finish to the innings by the Explorers. Hikers will still back themselves to get this target. I'm sure that when they started, and as we see the scorecard from the Explorers, Deron Graves at the very top there, 10 from 13, 4 from 5 for Romano Pair. Then we saw Lyndon James went for 12, a struggling 12 from 13, but Shaman Hooper clearly standing out for the batters there. 59 from 27 ball out onto a total of 105.
Yes, and bowling for the Hikers, Otney Lewis, definitely the pick of the bowlers. He got figures of 2 overs, no runs. He bowled 12 dot balls. So 2 overs, 12 dots, no runs, 1 wicket. Excellent spell. Stapleton, he got 1 for 2 off his solitary over. Matthews, 2 overs, 1 for 17. Harry, bit on the expensive side, none for 28 off his 2. But Douglas, notably there, none for 37 off his 2 overs. And Straw, 1 for 13 off his solitary over. Wickets fell at 14, 24 and 86. The Darkview Explorers getting 45 runs off the last 3 overs after they were 60 after the 7th over.
And despite that, probably less than 100 strike rate from Captain Lyndon James, you would say that that partnership that he, stayed at the crease, and I'm sure encouraged and advised Sharman Hooper, would have been, that really was a valuable partnership. So he clearly made a good contribution there. They would now be looking to go out and saying, well, we got to 105 and we have to defend this. Scoreboard pressure, that is more like 120 now. So that's really a good knock, a good finish the innings. Luke Wilson, what do you think how his performance? I know for sure he's going to be targeted by the Hikers batting, but he would have to show some maturity here today.
Yes, before I speak about Luke, that partnership that you alluded to, 62 of 33 between James and Hooper. And James only contributed 12 of 13 deliveries. So sometimes it's not all about the individual effort, but the collective for the team's benefit. And you mentioned Luke. Yes, the right-handers in particular at the top order will go after him if they're still at the wicket. But I'm very interested to see how the young man will respond to an onslaught. He's a young man, but I am aware and I'm very sure, I'm very confident in his ability to think on his feet. So it'll be interesting to see how he responds if he comes under that type of pressure in this innings.
Well, he will certainly be key in the bowling and defending the Express, defending that target. Both teams are going to feel confident. Explorers mostly because of where they were after the power play. To get to that target, they're going to say, well, the momentum is now with them. Hikers going to say, well, at the start of the inning, we would have taken 105 as a target. Right, so they are going to come out confident, and it makes for a very interesting finish in this encounter.
So when we come back for you, the Lassafray Hikers will be chasing a target of 106 off their 10 overs. We now take a short break from the Dream 11 VPL 3.0 from the Ashes. We'll be back.
From the ashes to the stadium. They're not giving up, no. Bats and ball will collide. Hear them shout, spirits high. Bring your fight, bring your friends. Come out hard to defend it. Whoa, whoa. From the ashes to the stadium. Bring me out. T10. From the ashes to the stadium. Bring me out. T10. Hey. T10. For this moment, as we rise up each day, it's a game of the people. Come on, let's play. Bring your fight, bring your friends. Come out hard to defend. Whoa, whoa, whoa. From the ashes to the stadium. DVS, T10. From the ashes to the stadium. DVS, T10. With their hearts and their soul, they're not giving up, no. Bats and ball will collide. Hear them shout, spirits high. Bring your fight, bring your friends. Come out hard to defend it. Whoa, whoa. From the ashes to the stadium. Bring me out. T10. From the ashes to the stadium. Bring me out. T10. Hey. T10. DVS, T10.
Welcome back to the Arnorsville Sporting Complex here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where we have the Dream 11 VPL 3.0 from the Ashes. And the La Soufrière Hikers, their name, which is synonymous with the La Soufrière volcano, they will be looking to emerge from the ashes of defeat yesterday and to chase down these runs. Here with me in the box, the commentary box, is Dr. Kishore Shallow. And Kish, they are after a target of 106. How do you see it going?
Yes, Alonso. We know that Sullivan's approach is going to be one of attack. He's going to look to take the attack to the bowlers. Darren Graves, who we have seen open the bowling for the Explorers in this tournament thus far, and in the previous editions as well. He has the ball in hand. But these batsmen, I suspect that Maloney would probably be trying to play himself in for a couple overs, give the strike to Sullivan, but any bad ball certainly going to be dispatched.
So Graves to open the ball. He has a slipper man at long on and a deep mid wicket as he comes into Brown. About the first delivery. Here he is again to Sullivan. Cock attempted all the first delivery, quite straight, quite flat, just back of a length. But we know what Sullivan's approach will be. Same delivery, same shot attempted. This one was slightly wider, so he might be a little bit more disappointed with that one, as we see his captain Maloney coming to have a word with him.
Yeah, trying to hit the ball a little too hard there. I suspect that at least the second one should have gone through, as we see Lyndon, strengthening the offside because of the fact that Darren has been bowling that line and not getting any turn.
This time, 4 runs.
That's it right there. So what he did, he held back, he held his position and waited on the ball, not trying to hit it too hard, but more picking the gap. And that, I think, is what he probably should have done the first couple of deliveries. But I think that should be the approach as we see a change in the field here, Alan. So with Shaman being pushed back on the sweeper boundary on the outside. So I guess same length expected from there on Graves.
Yes, and with that, the mid wicket also comes off the boundary back into the circle. Little full on that occasion, same line. He attempted to go down the ground, was beaten outside the off stump, but it will literally be a shutter ball here from Salvan. This one comes off the edge, but straight to the man at short fine. There is no run. So 5 deliveries have gone, 4 without loss.
And that's how Sullivan plays. You know, he's just going to be trying to smack the ball, especially in this power play.
A little bit more bounce on that one. Graves, a man with some strong shoulders, getting that one to lift off the pitch. After 1 over, it's 4 without loss. And the Lassufre Hikers, they are 4 without loss. The Davy Explorers will be pleased so far.
That's a good start by the Explorers. Just the 1 ball dispatched to the boundary. They will be happy with that. I think that Desron would be trying to calm Sullivan down a bit and say, okay, we don't need to get, you know, a boundary off every ball. You know, let us try to play the innings. 105 on this pitch that still really looks good. Good bunks, you know, true. I think that they'll be thinking that once they bat the 10 overs, especially with one of the top 3 in the of Maloney, Sullivan, Dillon at the wicket, say 8th, 9th over, then they'll back themselves to get this target of 106.
Yes, as we see Shaman Hooper being introduced to the bowling for the second over. Little chat that is going to happen now between himself and his captain. Deep set offside field, along with the man at long on. So there's a change now as we see the man at the sweeper boundary being brought up into the field, into the circle, and the deep mid wicket being sent out. So Hooper to Maloney. And this one is punched in the gap off the back foot. Chase for the fielder there, but he does excellently. He does a very good job there. Looks like Edwards.
Yes. Edwards, really good feeling by Edwards. Save 2. And that's the kind of commitment that is needed in the field. Every run counts. So they would need to, you know, dive and stop these balls, chase the ball to the boundary. You know, really outstanding fielding there by Edwards.
Is it a catch? You don't expect Dean Brown to drop that one. And it's a wicket for Hooper in his first over. Good catch by Brown. Well judged. He camped under that one, taking the good catch. And I was about to say that even though the first over went for 4, and it was only 4 runs, that the Hikers will still be glad because at least Sullivan is still there and hasn't fallen cheaply as he did before. But this is a massive wicket.
That's a big wicket for the Explorers. Certainly jubilation for Captain Lyndon and his team. Yesterday, Maloney went early as well, and we see how the team struggled after that. So the pressure is now on Dylan Douglas because Sullivan is going to continue attacking. So the pressure is on the young Dylan Douglas to see how he could, you know, bat through this innings and get his team to that target.
And after his bowling performance, how expensive he was today, and also yesterday, you would think that he owes the team another innings to try to get them across the line here today, as Hooper will be bowling now to Brown. The batsman crossed while the ball was in the air. Wide outside the off stop, not called by umpire Davis. Sweeper cover on the boundary and a long one out. This one is cut just in front of square, but Maxwell Edwards is rapid across the ground and fires in a return just over the base. Good feeling there by him.
Yeah, the sun looked sharp in the field. That was a really good attempt to dive there, so from Darren Graves. And when they missed him, you know, you had Edwards out there backing him up and with a really strong arm back to Lyndon over the bails. on the bounce. So really good feeling. The Explorers look energized in the field. Dylan Douglas, played a good knock yesterday. Obviously didn't take the team all the way, but today he will be looking to win this one.
And this time it's just marginally over the head of Luke Wilson at short third man. This one was cut late, had a bit of bounce on it. And at one point it seemed as if it was going straight to hand.
I'm sure, although he would say it's well calculated, his heart must have been in his hand for a little bit there, Alonso. But good shot, good reward anyway. He needs those sort of boundaries, right? He cannot play like Sullivan, where he just, throw wind to the caution. So he just has to be calculated. So good start from Dylan Douglas.
This one outside off stump. He's looking for the slug sweep.
He plays that one really well. I saw he did it yesterday. He hit one in the opposite direction. It looks sweet when it comes off. So he'll be thinking, get a few of those. As we see Darren Graves come back for his second over.
Yes, he only conceded just a few runs off his first over.
I think 4 he did.
Yes, just the boundary. So Hooper went for 7 off his 1 over.
So after the second over, they're 11 for 1. I believe that the Explorers were at this point, same 2 overs, they were 1 for 14, I think. None for 14. 1 for 14. I think Otney picked up 1 in his first over, and of course he bowled a maiden, 2 maidens actually in the game. First bowler in the VPL ever to hold 2 consistent maidens in his start. That was a special effort from him today. And I'm sure that he'll be looking to come and contribute with the bat later on.
Yes, absolutely. If he could back that up with some runs, getting his team across the line, then he'll be a firm contender for the man of the match. As we see, Graves will be bowling to Salvan. Sweeper cover out and long on. So it's the same delivery. That's the line of attack with 3 persons behind square on the offside in the circle.
I think this is a really good feed as well because he's holding that line so well.
This one now called wide by umpire Dighton Butler. Salvan takes a walk to square leg. Disappointed and missing out on that one.
That one was marginally wide. A good call by umpire Dighton Butler.
This is a very good length being bowled here by Derham. It's not too full, it's not too short.
Yes, and this last delivery, he held back the pace a bit, just enough. And Salvan, as you saw, he had to, hold back and pull out somewhat of that shot.
A little bit of extra bounce on that delivery by Graves. As we mentioned in the previous over, he's a strong man and he can get the ball to lift off a length.
Darren is really bowling smartly here, veering the pace.
This time it's hit straight to the man's short extra cover, Samuel, who does the fielding. So another miserly over so far by Graves. 2 deliveries left. Can Brown respond? This one was slow and had some turn back into the right hand. Excellent bowling so far by Graves.
Is this another maiden, Alonso? Alonso, that this will be the 3rd maiden in this match.
It will definitely be a record of some sort. Oh, and he finally gets the cut away, this time shortish, and he gets it over the man at short, 3rd man for 4. And we were just reminded that he had bowled a wide in this over. So it's 16 for 1 after 3 overs. Lasufre Hikers chasing a target of 106. They require another 90 runs off 7 overs.
Yeah, and they should take some comfort. The Hikers take some comfort in the fact that the Explorers did not get off to a flyer either. And so they would know that once they bat overs, then they can still get this target. Especially with Dylan still at the crease and Salvan himself, who is due some runs, and he's more than capable of scoring runs. And when he does score runs, he scores them quickly.
Very quickly.
So Yeah, so he'll be looking to certainly cash in today after missing a few deliveries to start his innings.
So Hooper to Dylan Douglas. Single taken on the offside. 17 for 1.
The thing you get from Shaman Hooper with bat in hand or ball in hand, he's extremely competitive. As we see, he comes in here again to bowl.
This one is pulled. Oh, just short of the man there, Ryan Williams. You're wondering if it was going to carry all the way to him. Single to Brown.
Not sure if that was a chance though. Could he have run in a bit there, or what do you think?
From where we are, it would seem as if he should have been able to run in and complete the catch, but distance will be
Shot.
That's 4 runs over mid-wicket. Well played there by Douglas. Excellent shot. 4 runs.
That was a crunch shot. Look at that.
Yes, well pulled away.
And as you saw that replay, I'm sure, Alan, soon, the ball was outside off, well outside off, maybe 6 stump, and he pulled that with great control.
And this one is skied in the air. The bowler calls for his own catch, and he doesn't drop it. That's an excellent wicket. Again, Hooper takes the wicket after backing up his 50, and he has taken the heart of the batting away.
Man of the match contender. Suddenly leading now, Alan Sue.
Yes,
after that beautiful half century.
He's well ahead. He's well ahead in those stakes, unless Otneil can bat his team over the line.
The Hikers is in trouble here. Losing captain Desmond Maloney and Dylan Douglas now in Oni, and we're still in the power play. That's a blow for the Hikers.
Yes, and the Hikers, they still have an Everest-like mountain to climb, and they have to do so without the services of maybe their 2 most proficient batsmen.
Certainly, and I know the Hikers probably the most popular team in the competition in this VPL 3rd edition, and I could see the fans in the stand, in the PH Vaisop Philip Vera stand, and the Michael Finley Pavilion, that they are worried right now.
Yes, I'm sure some of them at home will also be quite displeased. So Otney Lewis comes to the crease, 23 for 2. At the same time, the Dark View Explorers were 24 for 2. The 4th over was actually a maiden. So they are in comparative positions, but you have to look comparable positions, but you have to look at the batting to come for the Hikers as opposed to what the Explorers had in the hut. And Lewis leaves that one alone outside the off stump, so it's 23 for 2 at the end of the power play. What's your take on it so far, Kish?
Well, a game would seem to be in the balance, right? However, what Explorers had was Shaman Hooper at the crease. Can Salvan Brown, who is currently an 11 from 16 balls, play an innings like Shaman Hooper? You see Desron and Desron Maloney and Dylan Douglas back in the dugout, 2 and 9 respectively. And then we see Neil Lewis, who has done well so far in the tournament, but look at the remainder of the batting lineup there. Those guys haven't had much opportunity thus far, Alan.
Yes, I think they have hardly had a bat so far in the tournament, most of the others. And as we look at the bowling for the Dark View Explorers so far, Graves 2 overs, 10 dots, none for 9, and Hooper 2 for 14 off his 2 overs to back up his unbeaten half century. Excellent all-round performance by him so far in this game.
Yeah, and it was at this stage that the Dark View Explorers had this wonderful partnership between Captain Lyndon James, obviously led by Shaman Hooper. As we see young 16-year-old Luke Wilson into the attack.
This one is cut away, but straight to the man on the sweeper boundary. Samuel, single taken.
Well, Salvan would feel a bit relief getting that ball out the middle, despite it going straight to the sweeper. You know, he will feel as though, well, he's timing it now. So maybe that might give him the confidence necessary for him to push on in this innings.
So punch off the back foot by Lewis down to long off, single taken. So Wilson, who before this game was one of the joint highest wicket takers of the tournament, and we were saying that he'll be put under pressure here. And that struck nicely down the ground for one, bounce 4 by Salvan. As we said, they will put him under pressure. They know that they have to go at him in this situation.
Yeah, well, Salvan game is really to attack anyone, and that is what he's doing. He'll be trying to see if he could intimidate the young Luke Wilson somewhat. But I could tell you that Luke is a resolute youngster, and he's not going to be, at all intimidated.
Good follow-up delivery right on the stump. Salvan covers up hastily as he was aiming something bigger.
Yeah, this is a good test for the youngster. Really good test.
Good delivery. Pulls the length back a little bit. They get a single. He dives across it to cut off that one.
It gives me joy every time I see Luke Wilson, on the field, bowling so well, knowing how committed he is to his academics, and balancing both academics and cricket. Really an inspiration, I believe, for many other young players.
And it's also something for parents to note as well, that your child need not do one or the other. This one is punched, and this one was maybe off of a third of a bat by Lewis, nowhere near the middle, but he was able to get 6 runs.
Yeah, really confident shot there by Otney. Lewis was needed, really needed, really good batting there, and the Hikers in need of a few more of those in order to get to the target. But Luke would still feel as though not bad bowling. He would feel that maybe a little bit unlucky there, he would think, from his end. Yeah, not to go all the way.
Yeah, that ball definitely didn't come anywhere off the middle, so he was slightly defeated, but he had enough confidence in his strength and his ability to get it over the boundary, which is quite short. The straight boundaries are not very long. Something that over the period so far of the tournament, that seems like just taking some of the batsmen some time to be aiming straighter rather than squarer when they want to go big. As we see Seal Ron Williams coming into the bowling, leg spinner. Beaten off the first delivery is Salvan Brown.
Yeah, it seems as though Seal Ron is going to be pushing the ball through. Trying to beat Salvan with pace.
This one he flights, and that has been slug swept very powerfully onto the President's Suite building, formerly the Players Pavilion. Smashing shot.
Smashing shot. That was really beautifully hit by Salvan right out the middle. And I believe he will be feeling, yes, this is my time now.
Let's see how the young leg spinner responds as
well. He tried to flight that one a bit, much slower than the previous. So let's see if he returns to the initial pace.
This time he goes more around the leg stump. Leading edge there by Brown, so he concedes a single of that one.
Yeah, I could see Sullivan telling himself that he missed out there. Maybe he should have gone because that one seemed full again. Maybe he should have gone to try and hit it harder instead of just trying to walk it down the leg side.
This one, Lewis was aiming the big shot down the ground. Just coming off the edge slightly there. Single conceded.
So he has bowled 4 deliveries, 1 slow, and that slow one went for 6. You think he's going to bowl another slow one?
Well, not to Salvan, I don't think. Yes, that's another quick delivery there. So he's not looking to turn the ball that much. He can turn the ball, though we have seen in some of the games so far that he has extracted quite a bit of turn on some of the pitches. This one is down the leg side, another quicker one, wide. This time, Salvan is onto it, and that's 6 runs. That one was a little bit slower, a little bit shorter, got the treatment.
Could this be Salvan's day? Could this be Salvan's day, Alan Soon?
And that's the 50 for the Lassufre Hikers, 51 for 2 in the 6th over.
Well,
It could be. It could be his day.
Interestingly, they are ahead of where the Explorers team was at this point. So at this, after 6 overs, the Explorers won 42 for 2. The Hikers 51 for 2. With Luke Wilson again. And as you see Luke Wilson, his mom is always around cricket, always supporting Luke. And I'm sure she'll be excited right now.
Yes, I know his parents quite well, both of them. The return comes in from the man at long on. Single taken there by Lewis.
Salvan is aiming for the ropes. Salvan will be aiming for the rope.
And Wilson will be looking to get him out as well in this over. And that's cut away for 4. That's cut away for 4. That's a very well executed shot there by Brown.
Yeah, well played. Well, a calculated shot, not really one of the heaves that we see from Salvan. You know, they're on course here, Alonso.
Yes, they are. And Salvan at this time is looking a bit more settled at the wicket. He knows how important his wicket is at this stage for his team. Could see him talking to himself after certain deliveries, admonishing himself to ensure that he stays there for the long haul. Short discussion between captain and bowler. No change in the field, so it just be maybe a different plan. This one is pulled, but quite flat, quite hard. It's gone for 4 runs. And it's a misfield by, of all persons, Dean Brown.
Yes,
Salvan's brother.
Some sloppy work there by Dean. Better than that. I think, if anything, probably a little complacent day. You know, but the Hikers will take that. Good batting by Salvan. Today, it looks like his day.
This time he pulls it. It's the man at square leg who does the fielding cleanly this time, Graves. So Salvan moves on to 39 of 28 deliveries. He had a slow start, but he is beginning to get into his work now. Lewis is on 9 of 5. He comes into strike against young Luke Wilson. Goes down the ground. And again, he hits another boundary of Wilson that is nowhere near the middle of the bat.
Yeah, and we have seen this from Otney Lewis over and over. You know, he picks the gap really, you know, and you know, he's an underrated cricketer, underrated batsman, certainly. But he has shown that he can do this, and it'll be interesting to see where Luke bowls his final delivery. He's a bit expensive today, well, in fact, he's quite expensive today. 27 so far.
This one has gone for 6 runs. So he has finally gotten one off the middle, and it has gone an extra 30 yards.
Outstanding shot there by Otney Lewis. Exactly how he would have wanted to finish that over from Luke Wilson. Luke will be disappointed with his 2 overs today, but really good batting here from the Hikers.
Yes, and I was about to say that, you know, he has not been middling the ball so far, Lewis, and he's still been able to get the ball. In fact, he has gotten 1/6 off what we would probably call a half a bat. So we want to see what will happen if he actually middles the ball, and finally he did, and that was a massive 6 over long on.
Massive indeed. 3 more overs to go. 71 for 2 from 7. Game is shaping up nicely here.
Yes, they require another 35 runs for victory.
From 18 balls.
Exactly. So they need just under 12 runs and over, which is gettable. They would want to keep that momentum that they have gotten in the last 3 or so overs. As we see the helmets being called for, Ryan Williams will be introduced to the bowling.
Ryan is capable of bowling a nice hard length, right? Good pace, but at times, sometimes trying for a bit too much pace, strays and ball give away extra. So it'll be important here that he tries to be as disciplined as possible, because we can't afford at this stage, he cannot afford to give away extras, right? And so a few dot deliveries create some pressure. Salvan, obviously, he's going to have different ideas. He's going to want to go anything short. Salvan is going to try and hit it for 6. And you know, Otney, he's just going to try and go with the flow. You know, he's been doing that really well so far. at this stage, I would say Hikers in the driver's seat. Slightly.
Yes, they are slightly in ahead of where they would want to be, and they still have Stapleton in the hut. But a couple of quick wickets could change that quickly. This one is driven firmly in the gap, but Graves will make his way around to stop it. It's just a single conceded, but it was struck nicely. Full toss delivered there by Williams. Salvan will be disappointed that he didn't get that for 4.
And Graves, swift on his feet, they got to run quickly, and the Explorers certainly would need some good feeding as well to back up the bowling. That could make the difference, capitalizing on every opportunity.
And that run just brought up the 50 partnership between these two. From 22 balls, as Lewis gets another single out to the man at deep mid wicket. And you notice who they have on the boundary. They have chosen their personnel quite wisely. They have Hooper, Graves, in the long off and long on positions. They have Ron Williams at deep mid wicket. So those 3 key positions, they have fielders with good arms, quick movers. So it seems as if the ploy here from Weirham to Salvan is to try to go as wide as possible, not to give him anything in his arc.
Smart bowling so far. Not a bad start at all from Ryan Williams. Lyndon would be hoping that he finishes the over without a boundary. A couple singles he would certainly accept, but the pressure needs to be kept there from Ryan.
Very good delivery. That one was a Yorker length, just outside the off stump. Excellent delivery there by Williams.
And I think this season so far, Ryan has shown some maturity, a bit more discipline. I was a bit disappointed with him in the last edition, especially after having that stint in Australia some time ago. So it's good to see that he is bowling so well. Let's hope that he finishes this over good for his own good, his own reason.
No, that one is not in the correct area. We saw it from the length from it when it was delivered, and Lewis just hit that one over long off. Very good striking here, magnificent striking here by these two, and of course the bowlers are under pressure because both of them are well set and they're getting the ball over the ropes.
But Sonny didn't do himself any good there with that delivery. It was just slightly too full. You saw Otney getting under that, going down low, a tall fella got down under that ball and really played it well in the end.
And that's a very good shot in the gap. Excellent feeling there by Graves. He keeps it to 2 runs. And you're seeing some very good cricket here, Kish.
I said that, Alan, so we're going to need some of those feeling here. Explorers going to have to stop every single, save the boundaries where possible in order to win this game. T10 cricket, 10 runs over, that is expected. So there are certainly Hikers, they are on course right now to winning this game.
Yes, and they need 12 runs per over, 24 from 12 deliveries. As we see the discussion between the captain, seems like his new bowler will be Dean Brown. He'll be bowling to Salvan, his elder brother. Well, one of his elder brothers. He has several elder brothers playing in this competition.
Yeah, and I suspect that same Ryan Williams would come back with maybe the final over. So 2 critical overs here in the game. I would say is in the balance still. A bad shot, a wicket or 2 could determine the outcome of this game. Dean hasn't bowled much in the tournament thus far, so he would need to get to the right from the start. No time at all to settle. No bad balls allowed here. A wide could determine the outcome of the game. And it's interesting.
And he'll be bowling to his brother, so they will be very familiar with each other. And the pressure will be on him because seeing that this is the penultimate over, they will be trying to get as many from this as they can so that they leave the last over with as few as possible. So Dean is solely under pressure. Maybe he would have preferred to have bowled an over before to get himself into the game before coming in this situation. But again, both teams employing the tactic of bowling all their spinners up front. Run out. Oh, that was a run out chance. They're going to get 2 runs. They're going to get 2 runs. Salvan crosses over. There was Hooper coming in from point very quickly, but run out not effective.
Well, certainly both teams realize the importance of every run, and you could see the anxiousness in trying to go for the run out there. Good backing up by Romano Pay, trying to get the run out again, and both batsmen, capitalizing on that slight overthrow.
And they get the 2 runs that they need off every delivery.
Correct.
This one is in the gap. Can they cut it off? Yes, it should be cut off. Quick work there by Ceylon Williams, leg spinner. So again, you see the personnel that they have in the key positions. Graves again at long off. This time Romano play very, very, very fleet of foot again at long on. And again, Ceylon at mid wicket. It's a run out chance. And he's out. Dean has dismissed his brother run out. I think he's about twice as fast as his brother at this stage of his career. So excellent work there by Dean.
Really good follow through. Important, follow through. I don't know if I would have gone for that single. It always looked as though it was really, look at how easy it was. Yeah, for Dean. Good backup to his bowling. As we see Benetton Stapleton walks to the crease.
So again, a lot depends now on Neil and Benetton. I would dare say that they have bowled extremely well in this game, and so far for the tournament, these two. And if they are able with the bat to take their team over the line here, they will be very satisfied with their performance.
That final over is going to be critical here. Ryan would be there. It's going to be interesting to see how he actually handles the pressure. Of this final over. Captain Linden would be asking Dean to just keep it under 10, ensure he gives Ryan 10-15 runs in the final over to defend.
So that last partnership that was broken was 63.